And I couldn't help but think about how here we are. It's got to be about 10 days, maybe or less, where a nut job walked around Minnesota in a police officer's uniform with a rubber mask on and assassinated a senator or a sitting Congress member and injured a senator and their spouses with a hit list of like 30 other, individuals that he was going to go after. And I was literally thinking about it yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, and I thought, "Man, I've heard nothing about this mysterious dude who shot these people." He's basically disappeared as quickly as Thomas Crooks, who tried to assassinate President Trump.
It's
Uh,
crazy.
and then the story disappeared, which I found to be bizarre. And then all of a sudden, some information cropped up, which I think is fascinating and more amazing than ever that people kind of swept this under the rug. So he's here. He's given us the lowdown on the manifesto of the masked character and some information that legacy media doesn't really want to talk about.
Assassin who disguised himself as a cop to shoot down Democrat politicians and their spouses. He killed two and seriously injured two others. Today, we're finding out he wrote a letter to the FBI claiming he was trained by the U.S. military, quote, off the books, and that Tim Walz asked him to kill Amy Klobuchar so he could take her Senate seat.
He preemptively wrote a letter to the FBI knowing Kash Patel would be there to receive it. And he said, I am killing people in the name of Tim Walz. Hi, 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 hi.
Yeah, I think the guy's crazy, probably schizophrenic. Nah, I don't think Tim Walz had had any connection to this guy. I know everybody wants to label him Democrat or Republican, but he's just a crazy guy, you know?
I think what we'll end up figuring out in the long run, this dude has some connection to like Fort Bragg, or he was trained at one of these forts, and definitely one of them that have the MK Ultra programs going on. I think ultimately it makes more sense that this kid was probably brainwashed through some sort of MK Ultra style technique, and he was not in his own mind but still perpetrating the act. You get someone who's susceptible to it, someone you've hypnotized or drugged, put them in a state of mind where they will receive the command and then without their conscious knowing carry out that act that they're being programmed to do.